Hello, this is Dr. Umesh. Science tells us that your mind is broken up into two major parts, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is the part that you are using right now to critique and evaluate the content of what I'm saying as you're hearing it. That critical factor then determines the degree to which you agree with me and the extent to which you are willing to assimilate and incorporate my ideas into your conscious belief system. On the other hand, your subconscious mind merely behaves like a computer. It doesn't think or reason, it only acts and reacts. Its first task is to control the bodily functions that keep you alive, like breathing, heartbeat, hormones, and digestion. More importantly, the subconscious mind houses your fundamental beliefs about who you are and that for which you stand. Based on these fundamentals, it drives your impulses and your instincts. For example, say you're driving down the road when you suddenly see a flashing red light in the rearview mirror. What's the first thought that races through your mind? Well, if you're like most people, it's something like, "Oh, blank! I'm about to get pulled over for speeding!" Without another thought, no matter how fast you were going, no matter whether or not you were even speeding in the first place, your breathing gets a little faster, your heart rate picks up, your palms get sweaty, and all you can think about is getting a citation, having to go to court, or worse yet, traffic school, getting points on your driving record, being charged higher insurance premiums, etc., etc., etc. Now, what actually transpires? The cop darts around you and takes off like a racehorse. Miles down the road, you see he ended up pulling over a guy in a silver Maserati who was probably weaving in and out of traffic like he owned the road. What a relief! And for the next 10 minutes, you are a perfect driver. What just happened? That single stimulus, the flashing red lights in the mirror, instantly triggered this entire uncontrolled flood of physiology and emotions without your intention and, now get this, without your permission. Remember, the subconscious mind doesn't think or reason. It only acts and reacts. So the same way software determines how your computer hardware behaves, your subconscious programming drives and determines how you behave. Don't believe me? Do you ever get uncontrollably sweaty, jittery, and nervous whenever you need to make a presentation or stand up for yourself? If you're in sales, do you secretly avoid calling on customers? Do you instantly get angry and defensive whenever certain family members give you that look before they open their mouth? Do you waste valuable time and miss lucrative opportunities because you just couldn't bring yourself to come to a decision? Have you been avoiding asking for that raise? Do you choke up and bite your tongue every time your boss pushes you around even though you know you deserve better? Are you constantly finding excuses and continually putting off your plans to get proper exercise? Or do you overindulge every time you find yourself within arm's reach of ice cream or cheesecake? If you answered yes to any of these or any similar situation, then your life is probably not going exactly the way you want it. The good news is you can fix that. But in order for your life to change, you must change. There's no getting around that. You have to go in and rewrite the programming that drives your subconscious mind. Before we get started, let's review one more important concept. If we're going to reprogram our minds, let us learn from the experts. Computer scientists give us a most valuable principle of programming called GIGO, or GIGO. In the computer world, this acronym stands for Garbage In Yields Garbage Out. You see, it doesn't matter how fast or sophisticated the processor, or how many gigs of RAM, or anything else the computer has. If the software is junk, the computer performs like a clunker. Similarly, you can't shop for parts at a scrapyard and expect to build a Formula One racer. Garbage in yields garbage out. Now, while that saying works well for computer geeks, its language is not quite suitable for personal development. So when I'm dealing with subconscious reprogramming, I like to turn the phrase around and state it as the inverse. When you put the good stuff in, you get good stuff out. In fact, the quality of your life that you are living right now is a reflection of your subconscious programming received up until this point. Let me say that again. The quality of life that you are living right now is a reflection of the subconscious programming that you have received up until this point. The most critical programming is that which we receive in our formative years. From the time that you were born until the time you were about 8 years old, everything you took in as sensory input, touch, hearing, vision, taste, and smell, became subconscious programming, especially if it came to you from a figure of authority. Imagine if you take such a young child and repeatedly tell it things like, "You no good, dirty, rotten scoundrel. You are never going to amount to anything. You're going to end up broke and in jail. You were a mistake. We should have never had you. You are a waste of skin." Ouch. Now, conversely, imagine that you, instead, repeatedly tell that same child, "You are a wonderful, amazing, talented, incredible human being. We are so blessed to have you in our life. You are a gift from the heavens. The world is truly a better place for having you in it. Everything you touch will turn to gold." Wow. Which childhood would you rather have? Chances are your own experience in childhood was something in between. There are things that lifted you up and things that tore away at your soul. A mishmash, if you will. The trouble is, if you have mishmash quality programming in your subconscious mind, you get a mishmash quality life. Bit of a bummer, isn't it? Since you can't change the past, you may be thinking, "Oh well, there goes my chances." Worry not, there's still hope for you. Lucky for you, the process of subconscious reprogramming is something that you can learn and do right here, right now. And fortunately, you've come to the right place. Thank you for putting your trust in my ability to help make a better life for yourself.